Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome back to your daily checkup from the neck up. Coach Kyle Evans here. Man, I got to tell you guys, it's feeling a little bit like fall today. I'm kind of excited, kind of liking it. Welcome, welcome. All right, guys, today we're going to talk a little more tactically, a little more strategy, a little more matter of fact on some of the things that are going down. I'm calling this in the next couple episodes buyer sale on fire. Today I wanted to talk to you about buyers. Man, what's going on in the market through my eyes, right? Just my opinions, what I think is some things that we should be talking about with our consumer, with our clientele right now. If you are thinking about buying, you're in the right place. If you're a real estate agent right now, you're probably in the right place this morning. Let's have some conversations on what that could look like. One of the things that I found is most buyers right now, they think they're being smart by waiting. Some may, others may not be, right? And so that's the thing I want to talk about today is how can we be the economist of choice and make sure that we know the data that could help our people where they're at. Because a lot of times I'm hearing things like, "Hey, I'll just wait for the rates to drop. Maybe I'll wait for the rates to drop, prices to come down, and for the competition to thin out." Those are the three things I'm waiting on, Kyle. Here's the truth. The market almost never gives you all of those three things, like ever. Today we're going to prove it with some numbers, some ideas, some strategies I worked out here. We'll look at what happens if you buy now versus potentially what happens if you wait for the rates to fall. And maybe even what happens if you wait for them to rise. By the end, you'll have an idea of some exact math, some storylines, maybe even some conversations that you could have with yourself if you're a buyer or if you're an agent with some buyers to help them understand so they're able to move from hesitation into action. Here's just a market reality check as of me and the Google machine this morning, right? I've got mortgage rates, 30-year mortgage rates, somewhere around 6.25. Home prices, obviously, the Case Shiller Index has them still climbing at record highs. Inventory has us somewhere around 1.55 million homes, which is roughly a 4.6 month supply. Let me pause there. Some of you may not understand 4.6 month supply shows that it's actually not a true buyer's market yet. That happens somewhere around 6-ish months. So we're still not quite into that buyer's market, still trending somewhere around a balanced market, but good luck convincing sellers and buyers of that. The Fed, they are expecting a rate cut September 17th. No one has a crystal ball on yet on that, but we're expecting one on the 17th, which could spark more demand. Think about that. If the Fed cuts rates, competition goes up. If they don't cut rates, the rates can climb. Either way, waiting can actually expose us to more risk. Waiting can actually put us in a precarious situation, not a safer one. So I wrote out some stuff here on this board, and I'm going to walk you through it because my handwriting is lovely, as you can see. Scenario A. Let's go with some assumptions here. 400K average home price, right? Let's go with a 400K home price. We're going to say that we're going to put 20% down payment. We're assuming the 30-year fix is the 6.25 that we talked about. If you bought today at the 6.25, you put 20% down, you would be taking out a $320,000 loan. Your monthly principal and interest is $1,971. Principal and interest only. I understand that there's other factors. We're just looking at this today. Principal and interest, $1,971 per month. Now, here's an option that we're seeing a lot for today. If we bought today, we could negotiate a 2-1 buy down. Year one, that would put us somewhere at a 4.25% interest rate at 1574 a month. Here's the cliff note on that. we're saving roughly 400 bucks a month, $397 per month for the whole first year. Year 2, we're roughly saving $203 per month. That's a lot of savings. So a buyer today can get almost $400 per month on a discount and still be building equity immediately. Immediately. A lot of times we don't slow down to walk through the strategy of this. Now, here's the other thing that I'm hearing a lot of, and you may be hearing a lot of this too. Let me see if I can get this in the frame here. Lovely. People are saying, hey, I'd rather wait. I want the rates to come down. Totally get that. Understand that. Let's walk through that scenario. If we wait for rates to come down, what happens, ladies and gentlemen? More buyers are going to enter the fray. If more buyers enter the fray, then what tends to happen to prices? They're going to go up. So we're assuming a 3% appreciation. Not a lot, nothing crazy, 3%. That 400,000 is now 412,000. Our loan is now $329,000 instead of 320,000, which brings our P&I to 1948. Remember, we were up here at 1971. All that we're truly saving is 23 bucks. $23 a month. All of that waiting is getting us $23 per month lower. But here's the potential corner you as a buyer or your buyers may be putting themselves in by waiting. They're going to miss out on all of those savings for the first 2 years. Do you know how long it would take to recoup those savings at $23 a month? Like 300 months. That's not good. Also, assuming that competition is higher. That 412, guys, some markets that we've seen, it's much higher than that. People are having to waive their inspections, they're having to waive their appraisal gaps, they're having to give up a lot more because they chose to wait. The conversation you should be having is, would you give up thousands in incentives and equity just to save $23 a month? A lot of times we just look at things like just the rates instead of actually breaking it down in a monthly matter of fact way. We've got to start being prepared for these conversations and being able to walk through some of this math with our people. Here's the other scenario that people aren't really thinking about. What if rates go up? What if they rise to 6.75? Our $400,000 house, that P&I is now like $2,000.76. That's $105 a month up from buying today. The upside of waiting is small, the downside is large. We have to slow down and meet our people where they're at. Even with a small dip in rates, limited inventory makes bidding wars likely. Some of us out there are still seeing these bidding wars currently. If we look at the historical proof from 2019 and 2021, minor rate drops, they tend to equate in multiple offer frenzies. Scarcity drives regret more than payments. The real question isn't what will my rate be? The real question should be, how many other buyers will I be fighting with when I finally decide to write? We've seen this before. We need to slow down and be able to give them the appropriate options. So here's some conversation frameworks you can think about. Option A, hey, listen, if we buy today, we can capture the incentives and potentially a buy down. Option B, we can wait for a lower rate, save maybe $20 a month, but potentially lose thousands in equity. Which one feels smarter to you? Let them decide. Buy today, capture incentives, potentially a buy down, Or option B, we can wait for a lower month, save maybe 20 bucks a month, and lose thousands in equity. Which one feels smarter? Another conversation framework, if then framing, right? Hey, look, if the feds cut if the feds cut their rates and competition surges. If they don't, rates climb. Either way, waiting has a cost. If the Fed cuts the rate, competition surges. If they don't, rates climb. Either way, waiting has a potential cost. Are you comfortable with that? What about the lost equity? Each month you wait, you could potentially be missing on $300 to $400 of principal paydown. That's money you'll never get back. If I were you, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of the internet, one of the things that I would be thinking about today is picking 5 active buyers. And what I would do is run their specific scenario, their actual scenario through some of these factors. Slow down and spend some time with them. Go through the math. Figure out if there is an actual benefit to waiting. More often than not, probably won't be. Use some of these frameworks, use some of this criteria, some of this data to help them understand the cost of waiting. Buyer, is your sale on fire? You see, the cost of waiting, it's not theory, it's actually math. At today's supposed interest rate of 6.25, buyers can actually pay less in year one with a buy down than they will if they wait for the perfect rate to come. Those people who are waiting for 3% interest rates, good luck. Good luck. Clarity creates urgency, not pressure. I want you guys to slow down here and be the economists of choice. Would you give up thousands in equity and incentives just to save $23 a month? Another play for buyers right now is builders are giving away the house. If you haven't slowed down and shown your buyers the benefits potentially of them going the new construction route right now, you're not doing them the service that you're supposed to. Every month we wait, every time we don't do our job as agents, bringing them the actual tangible data, walking them through scenarios, helping guide them to the correct choice for them, we are missing the mark. It is time that we start working on some of these skills and some of these habits. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of the internet, just a quick hitter for you today. Just a little mathy math for you. I'm going to give you back some time this morning. We got a lot to do. Happy Monday. Go make the choice to spend some time on this. Go make the choice to find a couple of your active buyers, slow down, and have an actual strategy session with them around potential options. That's my command for you. Not command. That's my desire for you today. It's up to you to make the choice. I'll see you tomorrow as we continue down this buyer rabbit hole so we can actually be talking about the message of the market in this moment. Love you, mean it. Go make it a great one.